And it came to pass, whilst the lion spake these words unto the eagle,
The eagle is the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, not the last leg of the Roman Empire, not NATO, not the EU, not America, not Canada. America and Canada are members of the NATO. NATO nations, some of the EU nations are NATO nations and vice versa. Like Turkey is a member of NATO but not a member of the EU, so you can understand. That's why it's...
Come on, read again, I'm sorry.
And it came to pass, whilst the lion spake these words unto the eagle,
The eagle is the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, not the last leg of the Roman Empire, not NATO, not the EU, not America, not Canada. America and Canada are members of the NATO. NATO nations, some of the EU nations are NATO nations and vice versa. Like Turkey.
Expounded unto him. Now, in the same chapter, read verse 1 to 3 to give the image of it. Go ahead. Because it told you the eagle in verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest come off from the sea. Now, verse 1.
And it came to pass, while the lion spake these words unto the eagle I saw.
Hey,
the lion represents Yahweh Shai. It's a vision.
Give me the image of the lion. Yes, come on. Read again, I'm sorry.
And it came to pass, whilst the lion spake these words unto the eagle,
The eagle is the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, not the last leg of the Roman Empire, not NATO, not the EU, not America, not Canada. America and Canada are members of the NATO. NATO nations, some of the EU nations are NATO nations and vice versa. Like Turkey is a member of NATO but not a member of the EU, so you can understand. That's why it speaks about the 7 heads, the 10 horns, and so forth, the crowns on the head. Because some of them were EU nations and NATO nations. Some of them were just EU nations. Some of them were just NATO nations.
I saw, and behold, the head that remained and the 4 wings appeared no more. And the 2 went unto it. And
let's look that up now. And you're going to listen to what he's going to say. And he's guilty of adding to the book. Or taken away from the book, taken away from the book and adding to the book. It says that if you take away or add to the book in Revelation 22, 18, and 19, that you will be, well, when you go to, I believe it's Revelation 19, that anybody that's not found in the book will wind up in the lake of fire. So, based on what he's teaching it clearly wrong, and I'm going to prove that. All he got to do is swallow his pride and next week say I was wrong. Apostle Tahar corrected me to this thing. Because you're guilty, you're in danger of the judgment of hellfire. And you say that, you know, if you're not found written in the book, you're gonna suffer hellfire forever. Revelation 22, 18, and 19. If you add or take away or add to the book, the Most High said he's gonna take you out of the book of life. So if you don't humble and correct yourself, you're going to wind up in a hell, which there's no such thing as hell, you know? There's no such thing as a spiritual hell that you burn in forever. But if that was the case, he's going to wind up there forever. So now let me read this. And it came to pass, whilst the lion, which represents Yahweh Shai, spake these words unto the eagle, the Roman Empire, I saw, and behold, the head that remained, and the 4 wings appeared no more. And the 2 wings went unto it, and set themselves up to reign. And their kingdom was small and full of uproar. And I'm going to tell you who these 2 are. I'll go into who the 4, the head, in a minute. So let me come back over here.
Set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small and full of uproar.
Those last 2 wings was Gog and Magog, which has not happened yet. Go ahead.
I don't know where he got, and he said Gog and Magog, and he kept reading. He didn't explain. He didn't link up anything that proved that was God. The scriptures say prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. Now maybe Sakari can help him if they know the breakdown, because I know that they used to I'm pretty sure they changed it. They came to their senses. Well, if you don't, just drop me a line. It was Hakar mainly that said that part of the breakdown of Second Ezra 11 and Second Ezra 12 has something to do with the kings of the Byzantine Empire. And I kept asking them certain script to break down a certain precept within. It was either, this was years ago, Second Ezra 11 or Second Ezra 12, and he ignored me. He never answered back. When I kept asking if the Byzantine Empire was a part of this, then what does this particular verse mean? I forgot what the verse was. I forgot whether it was in chapter 11 or chapter 12. But I believe it was the 28th verse, which I'll kind of look and I'll see if I can remember. And he ducked me. He ducked me. Never answered the question. So I hope you guys changed it. And if you did change it, please drop a line to Bishop Nathaniel. Tell him that he's going off, and he's going to wind up in the lake of fire.
And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more, and the whole body of the eagle was burnt.
So this is destruction of this eagle of America, okay?
It has nothing to do with America. He went from the two wings, which is Gog and Magog, to America. Has nothing to do with America. Has absolutely nothing. It seems like it does, but it has absolutely nothing to do with America. And the two were not Gog and Magog. I'm gonna show you who they are. Come back over here. And this is the Roman Empire. This is when the two, I'm sorry, it says, and behold, the head that remained and the four wings appeared no more. And the four wings represent Vitalis, Vespasian, what's the other two? Galba and Otho. I mean, I can go more into it into the 11th chapter. It said, and behold, the head that remaineth and the four wings appeared no more, and the two remaining went unto it and set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small and filled of uproar. Now these two represent the sons of Vespasian, which is Titus, General Titus, and his brother Domitian. And what happened after them? There were no more of these Edomites that ruled. It was Jake. It was Nerva. He was the first Jake to rule. He was considered one of the good emperors. And I went through this before. Now let me do this. Let me jump over here. And there was a major fire at that time during the reign of Nero. And this is during this time period of Nero, the year of the four Caesars, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. So now let me do this. I'm sorry. So we did a complete breakdown on both of these chapters. This was back sometime in 2014. So, and we had it on YouTube, but they took down those pages, so we lost it. A lot of research you got to do. I'm going to just jump around. Alright, the 12 feathered wings and 3 heads represent the Roman Empire from Julius Caesar up to Domitian, as I did in previous videos. But the heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Now that represents Julius Caesar. He became the greater out of the 3, and the other 2 were Crassus and Pompey, if I'm not mistaken, which was a triumvirate. You know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this to Let me do this here. Bear with me for a minute. The first triumvirate of the Roman Empire. That's what I'm reading about. The first triumvirate was a political alliance between between three powerful men in the Roman, and they were like friends, but they were not friends. They were kind of jockeying to get that position. Roman Republic, Julius Caesar, Crassus, and Pompey. Gaius Julius Caesar, which he became the prominent head, Marcus Licinius Crassus, and Gaius, I believe this is silent, Gnaeus Pompey. Okay? So when you look up the word triumvirate, let's look up the word triumvirate. Triumvirate. In ancient Rome, a group of three men holding power. That's all you need. The first triumvirate, coalition of Julius Caesar, Pompey, Crassus in 60 BC. The second triumvirate was formed by Octavian, which is, you know him as Augustus Caesar, Lepidus, and Antony, or Mark Antony. But he became the prominent eagles that became one of their heads. Julius Caesar was one of the heads. That's why it mentions eagles. I mean, it mentions feathers, wings, and heads. So you can understand. So now let's come back over here. See, Bishop Nate will never go into the whole complete breakdown because he doesn't know it. So he's guessing. That's why he said Gog and Magog. And you heard him say it. I didn't put words in his mouth. And I beheld, and out of the feathers, different people jockeying for position in the Roman Empire. There grew other contrary feathers, and they became little and small. But the heads were at rest. Julius, Pompey, and Crassus. The head in the midst, which was Julius, was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue, meaning it fell asleep, it died, and it was going to come back. So Julius came back as a Vespasian. But let the heads be served for the last, right? That's the heads that to be served for the last is Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Then after that, Jake took over. That's why Esau is afraid now, because Jake's got some power, man. Got a lot of top lawyers and business people in the military, and they know the history. They know what we did to them over 2,000 years ago. And I beheld, and lo, the voice went out of our heads, but from the midst of a body, which is the Roman Empire, has nothing to do with America. It speaks about 8 contrary feathers, which we mentioned 4 of them. Pompey, what was it? Pompey and Crassus, and then you had another 2, which was Antony, Mark Antony, and what was the other one? What was the other one? Octavia, which is Augustus, Lepidus, and Antony. Those were the two. Those were four of the eight contrary feathers, because they didn't sit up as emperors, but they were close. They were right, on either side of the emperor, Julius and Augustus, so you can understand. Okay, and the rest of the eight is a whole other subject that goes into Galba, Ortho, and Vitellius, and then there was one more. Has nothing to do with America, has nothing to do with Gog and Magog. After this I look and behold, 12 feathers appeared no more, nor the two little feathers. And there was no more upon the eagle's body, but 3 heads that rested and 6 little wings. It says, then saw I also that 2 little feathers divided themselves from the 6. So then you had 4 and you had 2 that remained under the head. The head is ultimately Julius Caesar coming back as Vespasian. That was upon the right side, for the 4 continued in their place. And I beheld, and lo, the feathers that were under the wing thought to set up themselves and to have the rule. And I beheld, and lo, there was one set up, but shortly it appeared no more. That's I believe that's, I'm gonna double check that.